welcome to the Get Your Geek On Paris show here in the comfy confines of the Freedom 1160 studios. Air conditioning's blowing, which in Texas is a must, starting sometime in February and going all the way through Thanksgiving. So we are set up here. We are good to go. We have a guest in-house. Bob Wills will be joining us here momentarily. But first, we got to do the pre-show to make sure.
Who's joining us momentarily?
That will be Bob Wills. I don't know if that's the right sound effect we want to. That's kind of a shocking, dramatic.
Am I dead?
So would that mean he's okay? How about this? That Bob Wills are
super secret exclusive inside source. Yes, he is. Let's face it. If you're going to get a super exclusive secret inside source, it doesn't get much more super secret exclusive inside source than the guy who's running the show and writing the checks. So I mean, anything that we put out on the show from Celebrity Fan Fest certainly can't be denied by outside sources, considering who we get it from.
Very true.
Oh, goodness. A lot of news that we want to cover also. A lot of news broke, especially regarding Star Trek. Did you, Goose?
Yes.
We're going to do the DS9 recap, but did you see the Picard series pictures?
Uh-huh. I saw the one and then the logo.
The sneak peeks.
Saw the one picture and the logo.
Yep. So we got that. The Batwoman trailer was released.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about that at some point.
And the season finale of Arrow and the Flash leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, it's interesting how we're kind of sliding some of the old shows out. They're kind of starting to get past their prime, and now we got these new ones coming in. Swamp Thing is coming on. Batwoman's coming on.
Batwoman's on CW, DC, or Swamp Thing's going to be on DCU.
Yep.
So, and Arrow's going to have a 10-episode season next season.
Yeah, kind of an interesting number to go with.
Well,
10 is usually what you roll out with in your first season.
I think it's because that entire 10-episode season is going to be the Crisis buildup.
And season 3, Orville.
Yes, that
on
got
the way.
renewed.
Adrian Palicki and Scott Grimes, both Get Your Geek On alumnus.
Yes.
Got to be very, very happy that season 3 got renewed. Man, they took their sweet time in doing it. I wonder. I assume it's contract negotiations that
but they
just
had to
took
get
a while,
it done before
but
the upfronts.
Yeah, they absolutely had to.
Oh, Walton Goggins is getting a new show next season called The Unicorn.
Oh, also a Get Your Geek On alum.
Yes.
So that looks good.
He says it's a 30-minute sitcom, I think.
Yeah. It looks intriguing.
And
Let me just put it that way.
Tonight is the last episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, that's right. And then this coming Sunday will be the last episode of Game of Thrones. We probably want to talk about that dumpster fire at some point.
I haven't watched ahead. I'm still in season 4.
Don't worry. I promise. We will, because a lot of people still haven't watched it as well. So we'll redact some of the...
But there's a petition to rewrite it.
Oh, there's a petition for everything nowadays.
Should they have gone ahead of the books or just wait for George R.R. Martin to get it back together?
You can't wait. Because anybody related to the show could die. George R. R. Martin could die.
Oh, Emilia Clarke nearly died twice.
Emilia Clarke nearly died twice. You people sign on for movies and then they're unavailable. No, you got to crank this thing out. I just wish they hadn't sucked at it. I wish. I mean, it's a small one. It's one small minor regret, I'll admit. But are you watching Game of Thrones by any chance? No. Okay, all right.
My wife is. I've been watching the NBA playoffs. Sad to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that Kawhi Leonard winning shot Sunday.
Well, to me, the playoffs didn't go past the first round.
Go Bucks. Woo!
Fear the deer.
Fear the deer. Yes. And man, Houston.
# fear the deer.
I was talking about this with my dad and my brother. Houston, Golden State is to Houston what we were to the Phoenix Suns in the last decade, because they were really good, but they couldn't get past us. Houston can't get past Golden State, and in the 90s, we could not get past Utah Jazz to save our lives. We could not get past Karl Malone and John Stockton. It was always in the second round, and we'd always lose in like 6 games.
Nobody but the Bulls could get past them, really.
Yeah.
Pick and roll.
Yep. Oh, my. And of course, the occasional elbow. Yep. Just kind of a high elbow up there.
I was, when you said Game of Thrones, and I looked in deep thought, it was because I tried to see if we could have added another guest, so I put a feeler out there for Emilia Clarke, but she's taking the summer off for vacation.
Yeah,
for
It's
her.
tough
She
being
was
a
at the
Dragon
Dallas
Lady.
Fan Days last weekend.
No,
weekend
it was
before?
Comic-Palooza,
yes.
and she went. They took her to a
Comic-Palooza.
Rockets game also. She got to catch a
Nice.
Rockets game courtside, of course,
Of course.
for Amelia.
Didn't help the Rockets.
No, not really. No,
James Harden barely helps the Rockets. What are you talking about?
could always get.
Second greatest Rocket ever.
We could always recommend a couple of actors from the Orville.
Hold on. Who's the first?
The Dream.
Hakeem Olajuwon. Very
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
But we know a couple of Orville actors that
We do.
Yeah, that might be available in mid-June. It's only the best show on television, so
No, bite your tongue.
Yeah, well, it's really good.
I'll give you
great
that
show.
because Discovery and soon to be Star Trek Picard aren't on television.
That's true. That's true. Not streaming. I mean actual television. So, all right, I think we're good. We've got a good stream going. Everybody, hi. I want to say hi to everybody before we get this show on the road here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us.
Sound is good. We've had some complaints, but I got sound up and rolling. We're good.
Okay, good. So we got the sound issue fixed. Let's go ahead and let's kick this thing off.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. Get ready. Prepare for blast off.
Your fortress of solitude.
Greetings, program!
Glad you're alive.
Your sanctum sanctorum.
Resistance is futile.
Welcome.
This should be first triumph. This is where the fun begins.
Proof positive that geeks have inherited the earth.
It's showtime.
It's time to get your geek on
You complete me.
with Dave Gramillion.
All right. Welcome to one of the most listened to talk radio shows for geeks in the US of A. I'm Dave Gramillion, voted the best radio personality by San Antonio Magazine, and this is Get Your Geek On. We are on a never-ending quest to awaken your inner geek by talking about the products, events, news, opinion, reviews, and oh, so much more that demonstrate that geek is now the mainstream. Today on Season 3, Episode number 49 on Freedom 1160 and Freedom1160.com, we have a special guest here in-house. If you look at your calendar, you will see that we are rapidly coming up on the Celebrity Fan Fest, June 14th through the 16th, down there at the Freeman Coliseum and Expo Hall. And Bob Wills, the man behind it all, will be here in studio with us to talk about pretty much everything involved with that, as much as we can cram into an interview. And so we'll get to him here momentarily. Star Trek news out the wazoo, man. So we got a DS9 documentary recap. Goose was there in-house. He got to see it there at the studio in Abilene. He'll be talking about that experience. The Picard series, we finally get our first not really official look, kind of, sort of. Somebody snuck a couple of pictures out of one of the sets, so we get to talk about the Picard series a little bit. Some DC news also. Where is DC going to go now? And how about that Batwoman trailer? Not Batgirl. We need to get into the difference between Batgirl and Batwoman and what this trailer did well and what it is going to make you groan over. Also, a little bit of video game news because E3 is right around the corner also, and there won't be a major presentation from Sony. There won't be a major presentation from Nintendo, but there will be one for the first time ever from Netflix. Yeah, so we'll be talking about what Netflix is going to be bringing out to E3. And if we get a little bit of time also, we'll do some broad-ranging talk on Game of Thrones because, wow, just Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit as well. But let's go ahead and bring on our in-studio guest here. Please welcome back for what has to be the 87th time, 88th time, something along the line. We're close around that. Welcome in the Chief Listening Officer for Get Your Geek On, Mr. Bob Wills.
Thank you.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here, David.
All righty. Well, so the last time we talked, we talked an awful lot about the con itself and the guest announcements that y'all have made, the huge number of A-list quality Avengers and Aquaman and DC and Marvel and comic book guests and all that are coming in. But I wanted this to focus a little bit more on you. I want the people to know a little bit more about the man behind the curtain, so to speak, the guy pulling all the strings. A lot of cons, Comic Palooza, Dallas Fan Days, Fan Expo, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. They'll get big names, giant, massive venues. I was at the McCormick Place for Star Wars Celebration Chicago, and that's massive multi-building facility. But one thing that really impresses con-goers is how smooth a con runs. Make sure that everything is laid out and it's organized and there's plenty of signage and knowledgeable volunteers and that sort of thing. And the event last year was largely praised for this. A lot of people loved how smooth it was. But the Freeman is a whole different venue, and you're going to expect a vastly larger crowd than last year. So what steps have you taken to ensure that this year will also be a smooth experience?
Well, we have for months, we have operations meetings every week. We lay out signage, and we keep going down there, and we said, how are we going to improve this? How are we going to improve that? We know the bar was very high from our first show, which is unheard of. One of our agents we deal with bringing in the stars, and he said yesterday via email, he says, you're the talk of Hollywood.
Ooh.
And I said, how is that? And he says, because you have accelerated so fast that you have people worried because of, look at how many A-listers. I said this before. I challenge you. Other than, Ace out in Seattle has got a good lineup. But when you look at, we have 6 Marvel stars, 5 Aquaman stars. You start right there, even compared to, there's Comic Palooza in Houston. I was there last weekend. Dallas Fan Expo. They're good shows, but nobody has the lineup other than Ace Comic-Con. My friend Steve Shamus with Ace, who's putting on a really good show out there. And when you look at how many stars, we right now have people coming from 37 states and 7 countries. We're not just a local show. We are an international show where people are traveling. We've got 37 states and 7 countries. So far, the farthest person coming is from Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So because, look at who we have. We have, on the Aquaman side, it's the first time Amber Heard has done a fan event, a panel and autographs and photographs. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who's Black Manta. Mm-hmm. Then you jump over and you look at, we have 4 stars from Avengers Endgame. We have the 2 Marvel stars, 2 of the stars, Ty Sheraton and Alexander Shipp. And they're at our show 1 week after X-Men Dark Phoenix comes out.
It's the most Marvel in Texas under one roof.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be.
It's marvelous.
Yeah. You got Dolph Lundgren, Claire Kramer.
Yeah. Yes, she's our moderator.
Mm-hmm. Gavin McTavish.
Yes, yes. So there, we've got such a large group, and I know you were hounding me as we have over the since January. You said, when are they going to bring those comic people? And I said, the last time I was here, it says, you wait to see the amount of people we started announcing.
Well, and to be fair, that's from the audience. They wanted to know, all right, so you brought the A-listers, but, kind of seeing how well we can round out the field with all these comic creators and artists that were coming in. What about fan involvement like cosplayers in the 501st Legion or other fan groups?
501 is coming. We've got the... then, of course, I posted 2 days ago. I met him in Comic Palooza, Fat Thor, or as he calls him, PTSD Thor. But it was great. So he's coming as a guest. So we're doing more of that. We've got that stuff is continuing. We're going to announce in a couple of days the big cosplay contest that's going to be announced that we're going to have. But for the most part, things are shaping up very, very well operationally. We've got something like 547 volunteers.
Whoa.
So we're well-staffed. Training is starting. They're going to get all their badges in, and things are going to start going very smoothly.
Now, the closer we get to this, the more stress has to be building up because now we're really getting into the final countdown, so to speak. And how do you handle the stress of the event particularly at the event if something goes wrong?
Handle stress with pride. It's the pride of my people, our staff, the organizational, the planning, and getting everything done so this thing can flow is flawless and smooth. You know, you mentioned earlier how people responded to our first show. That we got all B pluses and A's for doing a very first show with big time stars.
Oh yeah,
There's never been a show in America that came out with two A-listers like Jason Momoa and Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah,
It was unheard of. Most people coming out with Pink Power Rangers, old dude wrestlers.
That one red shirt who was in that corner of that one episode of that one thing of Star Trek.
Yes, somebody
guy.
who got killed when they beamed down to the planet. Yes.
Look, he was the security guard in episode 5, okay?
Okay, yeah, there we go. He didn't quite warrant a name, but by golly, he gets a booth.
Yes, there you go. So we've got a lot. We've continued. I'm gonna take the lid off a few things for you here, David. If you get moving along,
I'm moving. We're doing fine. No worries.
Yeah.
So run us through your morning of checklist. Oh, where are you hours before the gates open? What are you doing?
Oh, I'll probably be here's a little thing. So if anybody's wondering, they might stay at some place that's kind of a Grand Hyatt downtown. That's going to be where all our stars are staying.
Ground zero.
Ground zero.
Excellent.
Yes.
Start your campouts now.
Yeah, well, they'll be entering through secret tunnels and passages, but will they be wandering around, going to restaurants, something like that? But
There's a Ruth's Chris down there. I mean,
yeah,
when in
it's beautiful,
Texas,
beautiful Ruth Chris, right?
yeah.
2 words: river taxi.
River taxi.
There you go.
There you go.
Now we asked you last year what would be considered a win for you at the first year event, but this is a whole different beast now altogether. So when the sun sets on June the 16th and you're packing up and you're kind of looking things over, what would you consider to be a win? Would it be praise from the crowd, praise from your guests, making a profit, happy vendors, the fact that the building didn't burn down? What would be a win when it's all said and done?
Well, the first thing is that we don't have 3 days of rain like we had last year, 2 days of rain and nasty cold weather. We're buying weather insurance for this, to be sure.
Okay.
But you want the fans to be happy, want the vendors to be happy, and want to make sure that all the stars are treated with respect, with gratitude. There's a lot of things you can't do without them. I'm not a star. Nobody's going to pay to get my picture, your picture. Maybe Goose.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
The Goose the cat. I don't know what this dude.
No, the other goose.
So here's another sneak.
Here we go.
So
Here we go.
we're gonna have a couple merchandise stands. Like a lot of cons at the different. If you go to Wizard World or Comic Palooza, they have their own stands. We'll have some of our own branded products, but Goose, I brought in, I think, like 100 Marvel Goose shirts.
We got to get a picture of Goose with all the Goose shirts.
Yes.
That's a must. We got to.
So we're selling.
The checklist.
We'll have Goose shirts there.
Now, 10 years ago, did you ever see yourself putting together an event like this?
We've done big events, but they were private events, big time galas, and associated with some big shows. I mean, people don't know this. I mean, we did 2 world championship fights. I did a world championship fight in El Paso 1 week before our show last November, and did one in December. So, we're there, and there may be a major worldwide world championship fight that we may be doing come September. And I mean, the biggest fight of the year. One person won in New York a little 2 weeks ago named Canelo, and there's another guy named Triple G that has to win his fight on June 8th.
Hold on, we're going to do Canelo versus Triple G again?
Oh yeah, that's
Nice.
That's very possible. Because you got to remember the champ has it in his contract always to do a
rematch?
A rematch.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a guaranteed. So, and he's getting up there in age, so this is probably, it's going to be his last chance. But, the word is it'll never happen in Vegas because Canelo isn't going to go back there. Triple G doesn't think he can get a fair shake there. So we're hoping that, that it could be something that happens here in San Antonio.
Now, 10 years from now, So we're doing a 20-year swing here. 10 years from now, where's this event? Where's Celebrity Fan Fest in 10 years?
You're kind of going, hey, Dave, I know I look young, everybody. Look at this.
By the way, the wrong answer is the Alamo Dome.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm 66 years old. And if I'm going to get 10 years to answer your question, I'm not accepting it. I'm talking about, I've said this. Our business plan was from a standpoint of fairs and festivals that by 2020, which is next year, we would be the third largest fair and festival behind the rodeo and fiesta.
Okay.
So next year, we have our dates. It's the same weekend next year, except for it's going to be a 4-day show. It's going to be a Thursday through Sunday, like a lot of big shows do.
Yeah.
So we will be a 4-day show, and we'll be more inside and outside. We've got a ton of space down there, so we're going to grow into it. So my belief is, here are the great shows in America. Obviously, the promotional con, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
That's and then you got WonderCon in there, and you got Seattle. And you got New York,
Yep.
and you got C2E2. We want to be in that elite 5 or 6 mix, and and we may be doing shows in other cities. So, I will just tell you, there's some very, very positive vibes that we may be having another show later this year or the beginning of this year. Our plan is to have 2 shows a year here.
Okay.
One big show and one smaller show, but that smaller show is going to, if this comes off like we're hoping, and our agents are coming to town, see how we're handling this big show, we'll be turning around. Maybe even at the event, we'll be announcing our next event. So,
all right. So then the show next year, then, is that also still at the Freeman?
we have the hold on those dates.
Okay. All right. So you got to save the date down.
Yes,
That works.
We have a save the date.
And I understand we have a panel schedule. We have some highlights for the panels now.
Yes. So all of you who are making your plans,
We're going to hear it first, by the way, right here on Get Your Geek On
Yes.
Freedom 1160.
So Friday, our official hours are 2 p.m. to 9 p.m., but VIPs get in 30 minutes early.
Okay.
But our first panel will start at 3 o'clock, so you get time to get in, get your lay of the land. Because we have 3 buildings. We have the big expo hall, we have the second expo hall where Cars and Stars, then we're doing the panels, and we're going to have a fabulous setup in the Freeman Coliseum for those. So that first one at 3 o'clock is going to start Ty Sheraton's, it's called Ready All Players. So, and he's going to do 3 panels, but, Alexander Shipp isn't here till Saturday and Sunday, so they'll be doing their Dark Phoenix panel on Saturday and Sunday. Following Ty is going to be called the 2 Atlantean Kings, Dolph Lundgren and Graham McTavish.
Nice.
Then following them at 5:30. So if those of you who are planning and all the people WWE, that will be 5:30. WrestleMania champ Becky Lynch, Finn Balor, and Daniel Bryan will take the stage. And then the big one of the night will be at 6:30, and that will be Jeremy Renner.
Nice.
Followed by, we'll close out a little nighttime with Star Trek Memories with Walter Koenig, Mr. Chekhov.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Saturday, our first panel will be at 11. That's going to be repeat with Ray Fisher, who was a major star, and so many people wanted to see him back. So he'll continue talking about Borg Life and True Detective.
Can I tell you about my Ray Fisher story from last year's show?
Yeah.
I love this. So he was running out of time, but there were still easily a dozen or so people that wanted to ask questions lined up behind the mic. And he looks over at the moderator. He's like, "No, we'll take everybody's question, man. No problem." And the moderator just about dropped the mic. I forgot who it was, but his eyes got real big. Like, "Oh, we got a schedule. Got to keep these." And Ray Fisher's like, "No, man, we're going to get everybody's question. I don't care who lines up." And I swear, I almost think he was getting ready to reach for security or something.
I'll
like, no,
have a big
gotta
giant hook pull Ray up. But Ray's a sweetheart. We are doing on Friday at 1 o'clock. We're doing a media ribbon cutting in there, and they're going to be available. Right now, we've got. I'm not going to tell you the third confirmation, but Joe. Blah, 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 blah. What's that? Joe is committed.
That'd be
Joe Flanagan.
Joe Flanagan. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my list here. And Ray Fisher, they're going to do that. And Ray is going to go out and visit a hospital.
That's nice of them.
That's real nice of him.
And all these panels, they're general admission. There are no VIP exclusive panels or
No,
anything.
everybody gets in. Everybody gets in.
Excellent.
Until all the seats are filled.
yeah.
We've got about 6,000 seats. So
Alrighty.
you got a chance. All your VIPers, your VIP passes get to go sit down in the floor seats.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Saying there's a chance. The big thing on Saturday is 2:00 at noon will be Aquaman Live starring Jason Momoa. It'll be him and all the fans asking questions.
Nice.
After that, he's going to do at 1:00 to about 2:30. He's got his we got our Aquaman seafood feast. That he's hosting for 200 people. That's a private.
That's a
event.
big fish fry.
Yeah, that's a big fish fry. Then at 2:15, and I'm going to come back and give you your next breaking news.
All right, here we go.
Because I haven't posted this yet. But at 2:15, it'll be the second Aquaman panel. That'll be Amber, Dolph, Graham, and Yaya all out there together.
Wow.
So that's going to be one super panel.
That's a monstrous panel.
And that's at 2:15. And then at 3:15, we'll have X-Men Dark Phoenix with Ty Sheridan and Alexander Shipp.
Nice.
And then at 4:15, we're doing one called All in the Stars. We got Chekhov, Star Trek. We got Robert Picardo, Star Trek Voyager, and Joe Flanagan, Stargate. So we'll have the three. We'll have the three of them out there doing that panel.
By the way, Rob Picardo also in season 5 of Stargate Atlantis.
There it is.
Yes. And then Sunday it'll start with X-Men Dark Phoenix again at 11. Then we're doing the Savage Years, not Wonder Years. The Savage Years, starring Fred
Savage. I love it.
Yeah. There's the next one I can't. Robert Wool, who was Arliss on HBO. He's going to do a thing called Our Life in Sports. We're looking to have some sports celebrities on the stage with him, so stand by. And then the big one is 2:15 in the afternoon. That's the Avengers. That'll be Anthony Mackie, Benedict Wong, and Paul Bettany.
Nice.
That will be all taking the stage together.
I'm sorry, what time is that again?
That is at 2:15 on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And then we'll have another Ray Fisher, Borg Life, and then we're going to do at 4:15, we'll end up with The Virtual Doctor, which will be Robert Picardo, and we may have a real virtual doctor, because now everybody can do medical care online. So we're going to have, you talk about, I've always said that science fiction sees the future so well and creates things. I always remember in Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, and Captain Kirk had to go in and access the computers, and to get to see the files he needed to see, he had to do a retina scan.
Right.
And that was created in science fiction, and the CIA uses retina scans for security.
Oh, routinely now, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You can also see that in NCIS when they go to MTAC.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, laser, Buck Rogers created a laser gun in the comics, like the early 1900s, and we have lasers. I mean, so it's just, one man's, science fiction vision becomes reality of scientists. Say, hey, we can build that.
Now,
we can do that.
in case anyone is drooling or is about ready to drive the car off the road from all the news that we just dropped, you can get your tickets and your VIP experiences over at pmxevents.com. You'll see they've got a nice, great big banner up there at the top, and then a menu for all your tickets, the guests, the experiences, the whole 9 yards up there.
Yes, and there's a section called "Plan Your Visit," where if you need hotels or things, but the schedule, our schedules will be coming out shortly, not just for the panels, but the photo times. I will tell you, I mean, Jeremy Renner, all his autographs are sold out on Friday. He's getting close on photographs. Saturday, those are on sale. His start late in the afternoon on Saturday. There may be another announcement about him coming up real soon that we're talking about. Jason Momoa has got several things that have sold out already, and things are moving along because we're now in that stage where sales, people have been waiting. Okay, you're gonna cancel. You're gonna cancel. We got nothing canceling.
Nothing's canceled.
So it is bam. We are full steam ahead. So if you want to see somebody, you got to get it. I mean, Becky Lynch, all her autographs are sold out.
Whoa.
There's some of her photographs,
That's quick.
some of her sessions. Yes. So these things are happening fast and furious. A lot of people said, hey, is that stuff going to be still there when I get my paycheck on May 30th? Well, maybe.
So you could almost say that, you are in the end game.
No.
I could say whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. It's almost like we have a sound clip that has been so overused in the last 2 weeks. Oh, goodness.
So anyways, this is the last surprises.
Yep, here we go.
Surprise I'm going to give you is, so we have the Aquaman seafood experience with Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
And that is in a private restaurant there on the grounds. Will be high security. And people will get this wonderful seafood dinner done by Silo Elevated Cuisine. They're going to have this. And, you're going to get a custom, personal experience, with Jason. And it's not like the hurried things like you have Norman autographs and photographs. But, he'll be there. But shortly, we are going to announce another star will be joining that group that will be an added benefit to everybody.
Are we going to have archery lessons with Jeremy Renner? Is that going to be a thing? Are we?
No,
nothing like that. Okay.
No, because that's Jeremy works all day Friday. Then he comes in Friday night, like at 4:00. So,
okay.
That's when his first photos and autographs will start. So, anyways, there's a big lineup, big stuff. So we've told you we're going to have Goose T-shirts.
Yes.
We've told you the panels and the big panels, obviously.
And then we have announcements about which cosplayers will be coming and which fan groups will be coming as well.
We've got a lot more stuff coming.
Oh.
A lot more stuff coming.
Excellent. All right.
So the show that never could be, that some doubted,
the little show that
definitely, it's not the little show, it's the big show.
Perfect. All right. And you can don't forget, all your tickets, your VIP experiences, everything you want is over at pmxevents.com. You can also find Celebrity Fan Fest there on Facebook. We'll be right back here. Got a break for the bottom of the hour news here on Freedom 1160 and freedom1160.com. So real quick, we have Philip Gilbert is one of our very loyal listeners out in the UK, and he says we need a UK fest. Yes, a UK fest. Maybe not London because that's expensive as all get out. But
a lot of the stars, if you like Michael Fassbender, he lives over in Portugal. Benedict Wong, he lives in London. We're bringing him in from London. So there's a lot of stars over there.
Well,
Hugh Jackman.
Finn and Becky are from Ireland, so I'm just saying.
We could certainly swing something out there. Benedict Cumberbatch could be a guest at some point.
And we have at least one more visit with you before the show, I believe.
One or two. I think there's two.
I think we have two.
Yeah.
I think we have two more before the show starts. So.
And for those of you asking, yes, there will be giveaways. We'll be working on that after.
Yes.
Should I tell them during this break as you see Bob out?
Yeah, let me see Bob out, and then we'll talk. We'll give PMX Events some more love as we talk about the giveaways that are there as well, guys. If you haven't been to their Facebook page, do that now. Well, I show Bob out, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about our giveaways. We'll be right back.
All right. So while they are doing that, if I could only talk, if this medium was just auditory, I'd be okay. Looking forward to this show very much. It's actually Father's Day weekend, 14th through the 16th at the Freeman Expo Halls. So yay! And I'm looking forward to honestly the Cars the Stars event that's going to be there. Yes, you're going to have the A-Team van. You're going to have Kit.
Oh, yeah, Kit's going to be there.
You're going to have the 66 Batmobile joining me now. Hang on, I got to take your camera right
now. And I'm taller. I just now realized. I didn't ever do that, guys. I'm taller than Bob.
Woohoo.
Learned something new today.
I wish I was taller. Oh.
I mean, that would be David. Sorry. I didn't say that, guys. No one tell him I said that. Oh, gosh. We're going from Purple Rain to Sonic now. That's why I keep my hat on now.
Why? Why would you do that? That's not nice.
Because then, you can't see the blue. I just need to start like learning how to roll like him and just start rolling around. When I come in the office, just roll. But then Limp Bizkit's gonna be playing. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
Oh yes, it is. You know that, dude. I played Whatever It Takes like 500 times. So.
You did, and I was so happy when Bob said that. I was like, "Yep, that's happening now, guys."
Okay, that's not quite queued up where I want it yet.
No, there you go. So, I hope everyone's doing well, guys. Tell Bob I need to have an interview with Becky over dinner, please. That's my goal in life now.
You know she's dating Seth Rollins.
Whatever. I don't care. I just gotta be more charming.
Okay, not quite where I want it. Editing,
editing
during
on
while
the-
the show is taking place.
Exactly.
That's quite professional, isn't it?
So much so. I didn't know she was dating Seth, though. That's something new. Never knew that.
Yeah. They
more
announced it
charming.
on Monday.
It's okay. I can at least say I have dinner with her. That's fine by me. I can hit on her. He might punch me in the face later, but hey,
Oh
that's
yeah,
fine.
or elsewhere. Not just the face.
As he hits me, though, I will say, worth it. So,
You want some of that straight fire, huh?
yeah. I told my buddy he's in Vegas. I was like,
So David Lozano says you're Sub-Zero, not Sonic. He's just talking about your luck with women.
oh, ow. Dang.
You cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me deep.
That did. That hurt. Especially, I just got rejected the other day, too, so that doesn't help.
Dang.
Like, seriously, 2 days ago.
I did not know that.
2 days ago.
That just makes it better.
It does. That's why I told you. I figured you'd like that one.
Oh, I did. So much so.
Yeah. No joke. Like, what are we, Thursday? Yeah. It was like 2 days ago.
Oh, wow. That just makes me happy.
No joke.
That makes me so happy. You have no idea.
Now we need a Sub-Zero sound every time I come in and be like, yep, another day.
Sub-Zero loses.
every time.
Because you can't. They never put that in the game. They always have who wins.
Yeah.
So
So can we do that?
Sub-Zero loses.
We need to do that now.
Oh, I can just do that right. I can do that live on the spot.
Okay, why is it that when I come back, the first comment that I see is, "You mean he has no luck with women?"
Wait, what?
That's what you get from missing staff meetings, Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
What did I miss here? Ooh.
You missed a lot.
And you
A
know
lot's
what?
happened in the last 2 minutes.
Hey,
Philip,
with this show, you miss a minute, you miss a lot.
Yeah,
Oh, no kidding.
exactly.
Philip Gilbert made a suggestion, and it completely slipped my mind. He wanted us to get an MP3 of I can't remember
Whatever It Takes?
this guy's name from but it's from a movie called The Santa Claus, and he does this thing where he yells for free. And I wanted to get that MP3 over to you because a lot of our giveaways are, of course, free.
Santa Claus. I'm trying to remember that.
Wait, hold on.
It's
hold on.
Dudley Moore.
You mean you don't charge for giveaways?
That was a little delayed.
A little bit.
Well, I was just waiting for him to say something not smart.
Oh, okay.
God, what was that move?
I don't know, but you think
I'm
the
gonna find it.
word give away would kind of mean that it's free?
You would think, but
Well, you would,
No,
but there are
people-
some that they're pay to play. So there's some that are in there. They're contests and sweepstakes and giveaways, all sorts of things. All right, it's literally called Santa Claus the movie. It got 20% on Rotten
I guess
Tomatoes.
it's not Tim Allen, Santa Claus.
No, this is something
No, that's
different.
the Santa Claus.
John Lithgow. That's who I was thinking of. 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a cute little movie. So, but yeah, so he does that for free, and the MP3 is just awesome. And I didn't get it. My bad. So here's what we have. We're gonna do. I'm gonna give y'all a week to enter.
Oh, my hat's hurting, my head.
168 hours.
And then next week it'll be. We'll have to say it's been one
1
week
week
since we
you
started the
looked
contest.
Oh,
So here's what we have. We have 3 different giveaways from Bob. And
Just 3?
yeah.
like the Three Amigos.
Well, they're pairs.
Oh, okay.
But they're 3 separate.
Okay.
So here's what we'll do. So we'll put up 3 different posts on our Facebook page.
Just 3. Everybody gets 3.
One for each giveaway. Or should we do one big post and then
No,
we just have
should do one for each.
one for each? Yeah.
Now, then that begs the question: so whoever wins is getting the pair.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. So this will be for a pair of the following. So first one we have all of these, by the way, are for Celebrity Fan Fest. So if you're like Philip and you're in the UK,
Fly out here, man.
just hop on
Stay
a
at
plane.
Dave's house.
'Cause you're leaving on a jet plane.
No, basically, he's gonna say,
Oh, yes. I hate this. It is revolting. More? Please.
But here we go.
Terrible.
6 giveaways in total. We got a pair of Fred Savage photo op and autograph.
At least it's not Ben.
You
I
get
still don't like you.
You get photo op and autograph, a pair for Fred Savage. The next one up, we have a pair of Walter Koenig autographs. So you get to meet Chekhov and you get the autograph
You get 2 autograph tickets.
for free.
For free.
So basically, bring your Star Trek 4
Yep.
Blu-ray, and you're good. Or your original series Blu-rays, you're in good shape.
You're good to go. And then we also have 2 Alexandra Ship autographs that we will be doing a giveaway for.
So
as
bring your
well.
Apocalypse Blu-ray.
Yep. Or
No, she was only in Apocalypse. She wasn't in Days of Future Past.
oh, you're right. I thought she was, but yeah, you're right.
Jeez. How was that?
Buzz,
mine?
buzz.
Mine
That was a
doesn't even
loud
have-
buzz.
Mine, everything's off on mine, which is a weird thing.
All right, I'm gonna
That's
see what
really odd.
Let me see your phone.
No.
Let me see your phone. Now everything's off on your phone.
Did you just?
I muted you.
Oh, I know, but I muted everything other way.
No, you had it on vibrate, not mute.
Weird. Okay.
Oh,
So you
Alexandra
had
Ship.
it.
I wanna
So
see
there's
what
3
she's doing.
settings on that. There's ring, vibrate, and nothing.
Yeah, because I just go this way and it was on like that. on
Yeah,
all
but
of them,
that's
so-
vibrate.
Not right there.
If you bring down, if you swipe down,
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
if it's blue, it's either ring or vibrate. If it's gray, then it's
look.
mute.
Ah, haha. All right, I got it. I know where she was at from now. Drumline.
Oh.
So
right, yeah,
all
that's
you
right.
Drumline fanatics out there,
That's weird. I don't know what-
bring your
I had
DVD
mine
in and
now.
she'll sign it.
Anyway.
Oh, and she's also in
So-
and of course she's also in Dark Phoenix. So get your copy of the Dark Phoenix blue. Oh no,
No.
get your ticket stub signed.
You could. Hey, if you happen to snag a poster,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. If you get,
I'm not
if you get a
advocating
poster-
stealing one.
No, of course not. But if you
I am.
happen to
But if
have
you happen to show up with one,
Where'd you get
So-
it from? Don't tell us. We don't want to know.
so 2 Alexandra Ship autographs, 2 Walter Koenig autographs, and 2 Fred Savage
So-
photo op and autographs.
Not Ben.
So we'll put that out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO radio.
So,
so
you
Aaron's upset because he got Ben savaged.
still don't like him right now.
Yikes.
Still mad at that. Not let it go, Ben. Not letting it go ever.
Let it go.
Nah, I'm gonna see him one day and be like, I remember you too. I'm just gonna glare at him the way he glared at us. Just gonna glare.
Alrighty, so we'll
So
go
you
I
ahead.
got
And,
That's,
4 more weeks of playing that song.
we will go ahead and kick off the second half
Are you
of the
buying us
show.
the Avengers photo op, David? You know, just saying, all of them. You know,
Yeah,
all four?
I'm gonna go with how about you?
But whatever it takes. I thought.
But.
By the
One of
way,
us will die at the end of this.
as of today, Avengers Endgame is 200. What do you say? 240 million, 250
Around
million?
that.
Yeah.
Give or take 250 away from displacing Avatar at top of the box office. But before you get all excited about that, it only took in 160 million worldwide this past weekend.
So all we need is one more weekend like that.
You need 2 more weekends like that.
No, if we're 240
250
away,
away.
and it did 260.
No,
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 160, he said.
160.
Oh, we need
160.
two.
We need a week and a half.
So
two-
you need,
2 weeks.
You need 2 weeks like that, which it's probably not going to happen because Pikachu is still
Guys.
out. John Wick is coming out.
Guys, you got to understand here. I got a number 3 with bacon and cheese on the line here. So you need to go see Avengers Endgame, and you need to go now, and you need to go then, and you need to go.
There you go. We were leading that up. We was leading it up.
Just saying, if the trend continues, the movie should bring in about 100 million or less, probably closer to 90 million this
It's
weekend.
about how many times I played that song.
So,
Right.
just
I mean, the good thing is if it has like another 4 weeks and it's doing like 90, 80, 90 or something like that, if it stays like that, it could still beat it.
it's entirely possible.
Yes.
And like I said when I threw my hissy fit 3 weeks ago, I acknowledge that there's a possibility. I just don't think it's a very good chance. It's like Vegas odds right now.
Yeah, with Detective Pikachu and John Wick 3 coming out, it's going to take a beating now.
Yeah, I mean it's going to really start to plummet worldwide. So
You know, but the
We'll
funny thing
see.
is, what was it? Japan had Detective Conan as their big movie, not Endgame.
yeah, it was like the
funny.
only one.
Yeah.
Everybody on the planet was seeing Endgame except
Was
for
it even
Japan.
open in Japan?
It was. It it was limited. I think it was a smaller number of theaters.
I want to know now what this Conan movie's about. That's all that made me want to do. I just want to go see Detective Conan now.
If it beat Endgame, I mean, good God.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Detective Conan's been around for what, 10 plus years, I think now? Maybe even 15?
I think
because it started off as an anime.
Well, it started off as a manga, right?
Yeah, it was a manga that became an anime, and I was in college, so it may have been 2004.
Apparently, Fathom is going to be doing a bunch of anime stuff over the summer.
Oh, really?
It's a big Miyazaki fest, from what I saw. Ponyo, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, the girl...
With the dragon tattoo?
The one where she's a witch.
There's a bunch. I know Witch Hunter Robin, but I don't think it's that one.
I've always loved. I'm trying so hard to get Beth to like Miyazaki, but I can't get her to sit down and watch any of it.
I'm glad you put the rest of that name in there because otherwise that would have been funny.
Miyazaki? Or?
No. I'm trying to get Beth to like me.
Oh.
Miyazaki.
Well, she ain't gonna like me anytime soon. So.
Okay, so we need to address a comment that was made on Facebook.
Okay.
The one by one Mr. Daniel. So we are broadcasting this show today across many different outlets on Facebook.
Okay.
Not just our Get Your Geek on page.
Yes.
So in some of those, it may only show one viewer because you could be the only one viewing on that particular page.
That's true.
However, we are a 2-time best podcast in all of San Antonio.
Cha-ching.
And 1-time best radio personality in all of San Antonio.
Cha-ching.
So yes, we are a award-winning show. We have won those awards from San Antonio Magazine by the readers and voters of San Antonio Magazine. It is completely legit to say we are an award-winning show. Now, on that particular page, maybe we're not popular. Maybe this is the wrong time for that show. It's completely legitimate.
Yep.
However, we cannot deny, and you cannot deny, once you look at San Antonio Magazine in the last 2 years, that Get Your Geek On is, in fact, award-winning.
Absolutely. And there are YouTubers with an insanely small number of likes on Facebook. There are Facebook personalities and Instagram models that are only, like on their own little corner of the world. I know Instagram cosplayers who have, who was it? Somebody had 543,000 followers on Instagram and they had like 400 likes on Facebook. So it's cross-platform. So that's what we're trying to do is expose ourselves to a wider audience through more platforms.
We're not trying to expose ourselves.
Try to expose the show.
That's true. I mean, what do you focus on, man? And those Instagrammers, that's all they focus on is Instagram. They don't give two dings about Facebook, YouTube, anything else. They just Instagram.
Yeah, they just do what they do.
Yeah. And
that's fine. You just can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge one show by the fact that we haven't been on Twitch that long.
No, Twitch we just started.
And we're not really pushing YouTube. We're on YouTube, but we don't really push it.
Yes, I know.
So
trust me.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and kick off the second half. This is all news all the time, and there's a lot of news out there. So bear with us.
Don't forget, we have to do an introduction.
An intro.
When we start the show.
Yes, and we got to intro Aaron as well. So
yes, indeed.
That's why you did it. I just realized that.
Why you did? Yes,
you'll see it.
I have plans within plans.
I was like, "What? Oh,
look at that!
It just kicked in."
Now, Charles Meister, don't be spreading lies like that. You're going to ruin my reputation by spreading lies like that on Facebook.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Everyone.
Charles is a liar.
Yes, absolutely. Don't come on. I have a reputation to maintain here, Charles. Come on now.
He's okay. I wouldn't say all, but he's
He's
okay.
to make me get a dinner interview with Becky. That's all I want.
All righty, welcome back from the bottom half of the hour news break. This is Get Your Geek On Freedom 1160 Talk Radio. I am Dave Gramillion, the best radio personality in San Antonio, so says the voters of San Antonio Magazine. And if you missed the first half of our show, you missed a lot of news from Bob Wills about the Celebrity Fan Fest that is coming up June 14th through the 16th at the Freeman Coliseum and Expo Hall. A lot of news about the panels that they're going to have, a lot of guests that are coming in. It's the most Marvel in Texas under one roof. And it's going to be a lot of fun for that event out there. So you can catch that on our award-winning podcast, which can be found on Stitcher, on the iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, and Podbean.
So you're saying people should try to make it out to the show?
So you can check that out. It was also named the best podcast in San Antonio for the second year in a row. We got a lot of news that we got to get to here, but first, let me welcome now back on this side of the table. Now that Bob had to step out, welcome back in. I guess we can roll with Sonic. We can do that. Is there another name we want to roll with?
Well, we have another name, but we don't have a sound for it yet.
Blue Streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm going to start rolling in, and I want to hear Limp Bizkit when I do that.
So welcome in Aaron Shapiro.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Still trying to wake up.
Yeah,
doing good. Getting ready for.
It's like 4:40 in the afternoon now,
which is like my 8 a.m.
And he's still recovering from when he went to the Dallas Fan Days and got Ben savaged.
Yeah, he's Ben.
I don't
savaged.
like you, Ben.
Very nice.
I'm gonna keep saying every time I hear his name, I don't like you.
All right, so we got some video game news that we'll get to. Also, a lot of going ons at E3 later coming up in a month.
About 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
roughly.
so that'll be fun. We'll look into
David
that.
wouldn't pay for me to go out there.
But before we go into the news, we need to tell you about our redesigned website at getyourgeekon.org, where you can go and check out all the latest news and reviews and whatnot. Make sure you sign up to get our email updates at the footer of any of our pages there at getyourgeekon.org. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to sell it. We're not going to do anything but keep it in our precious hands, because your information is precious to us. And we hope our posts are precious to you. Again, at the bottom of any page at getyourgeekon.org. Don't forget to buy our apparel shirts. We have 2 designs currently right now, and you can find links to those also at getyourgeekon.org.
And believe me, I keep trying to sell it. They keep stopping me. So every time, like Dr. Robotnik, they just keep breaking my stuff.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to dive into our a lot of Star Trek news that just hit. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, if you see Klingons, better make sure that your face is on. And if you're in the fleet, rep your uniform, cause it's future chic. All the haters know, we got photon torpedoes. Throw the Vulcan up if you're not from Romulus, and stay with me now, live long and prosperous.
Alrighty, so
There are days I miss not being on camera.
25 years since Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and now we have our documentary made by the showrunners of that series. And Goose went to Abilene
I did.
to go see that one.
I did. It was very good.
So let me ask you this. So just how awesome is your lady? Because you dragged her to Abilene to watch this with you.
She enjoyed it, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We get to the theater, and I thought I had told her it was going to be a documentary. And she's like, "You brought me to a documentary?" I said, "Yes, I did." And I make no apologies for it, because it was a one-night only Fathom event.
Yep, this was it. And it was 2 hours, and it made me laugh. It made me cry. You kissed
there were belly laughs in that documentary. I mean, full-on belly laughs from me and about the 15 people that were in the theater. And at least one of those people was an Indiegogo backer.
Oh, nice.
So that was very cool. At the end of the movie, they had a roundtable of the actual creators. The Ira Stephen Burr was the person behind this, and the other co-director had actually worked with Shatner on the Captains and the Captains Up Close and Get a Life.
Okay.
So he went to Ira and said, "Hey, you want to do a documentary?" And Ira said, "Yeah." So it took 6 years to get to this point. And you will see interviews that took place across that time. There'll be some where the cast was all together. There'll be some where they were individualized. And they even did a writer's room, taking Ronald D. Moore, Robert Hewitt Wolf, Ira, and a couple of others, and said, if we were to do season 8 today, like 20 years have passed since the last episode, what does that look like? And they actually had it animated.
Oh, wow. Not storyboard.
No, animation.
Wow.
No, not like finished animation with voice, but it was still very, very cool. They even read some of the hate mail that they've gotten over, especially at the first part.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
thing. Rick Berman was there. One of the former heads of Paramount was part of this.
Oh, I'm sorry Rick Berman was there.
You realize that Avery Brooks talks like a jazz musician?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but just about everybody. Nana Visitor was a big part of it. There was no dead space. Even the credits, Ira and Nana talked about what's going to be part of the special features.
Oh, nice.
Because they didn't focus a whole lot on Trials and Tribulations. They didn't focus a whole lot on In the Pale Moonlight. They focused on the series as a whole.
Okay, yeah.
I know that reference.
What's that?
I said I know that reference.
Yeah.
The Pale Moonlight.
He's following now.
In fact, they during one of the credits rolled, Nanad said, "Hey,
And we lost him.
you didn't put in the pale moonlight in there. Can you live with that? Yeah, I can live with it." And they looked in his cameras. I can live with it.
Ah,
But it was really fun. It comes out on Blu-ray August the 6th.
okay.
Blu-ray, DVD, digital on August the 6th. I'll be getting it day of, and then I'll be driving up to Oklahoma so my friend can watch it with me.
Excellent.
I mean, you had Mark Alamino in it, the guy who played Martok, Robert O'Reilly who played Gowron.
Yes.
There's a shot of him, but he doesn't say anything.
But he's there.
But it's Robert O'Reilly, so he has those eyes.
Yeah.
They talked about the makeup and stuff, and especially in season 5, episode 1, Apocalypse Rising, where Cisco and O'Brien, I think Odo had to be Klingons.
Yes.
And Colin Meaney talked about his experience in the makeup. Because, he was human.
Right. And he got to be human like the whole series through except for that one episode.
With Star Trek especially, you don't focus on the color. You don't focus on the humans especially. You don't focus on skin color. You focus on the aliens.
Right.
It's like Ben Sisko was a black commander turned captain who was also a single dad who was involved in his son's life.
Yes.
And he was also a religious icon. And
talk about wearing a lot of different hats.
And also understand that in the 90s, serialized storytelling wasn't done, especially in syndication.
True.
So Ira actually had to fight that. And that started when Rick and Michael Piller went over to Voyager.
Yep.
To do that show. And you just got to hear from the reoccurring cast, especially Casey Biggs, who played Damar. Aaron Eisenberg, who played Nog, who, if you follow Nog's arc throughout those 7 years, very developed. Damar, success story as a character.
Oh yeah, a lot of character development in the smaller.
I will say this: they talked to Andy Robinson, who played Garrick, and they said, "So how would you describe the relationship between Garrick and Bashir?" And Andy said, "Well, at first, Garrick just wanted to have sex with him."
Wow.
I mean, that was and Ira even said, they should have made Garrick gay in the second season.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and they had Rejoined, which was a season 4 episode that involved trills, and it was a metaphor. It got kind of preachy, but it was still some interesting things that happened. And if you are a Star Trek fan, especially a fan of Deep Space Nine, you would be remiss not to pick this up on August the 6th. Pre-order probably now at Amazon, and watch the special features. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be watching every single special feature I can get my hands on. There's some musical numbers in there. I left my Quark and Captain Sisko being one of them. And it's sung by the guy who played Rom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then there's a musical number at the end with Jeffrey Combs, Casey Biggs, Armin Shimmerman, and the guy who played Rom, whose name I can't pronounce.
Alrighty, so August 6th, we're going to have to go and start the pre-orders now for that one. So that was the past. That was 25 years ago. Now the future is here. The Picard series, which is now going to be called Star Trek Picard.
With the A as the chevron. Ooh. And it's funny that we're talking about Picard and talking about the future of Star Trek.
Yeah, no kidding. So now we have this series coming out, and it's going to be on Amazon Instant Prime the following day it comes out.
Amazon Prime Video.
For non-USA and Canadian citizens. So we get it, everybody in America and Canada gets it on CBS All Access, and then the following day, if you have Amazon Instant Prime and you're outside of North America, then you get to watch it there, which sucks because I already have Amazon Instant Prime, but I'm very much in North America.
And I have CBS All Access, sucker.
All right, so according to an interview that was given, Alex Kurtzman, who is one of the showrunners, the executive producer, says that the mandate was to make this a more psychological show, a character study about Picard in his emeritus years. The Twilight years, the senior years. There are so few shows, he says, that allow a significantly older protagonist to be the driver. It'll be very different than Discovery. It'll be slower and more meditative, hopefully a reinforcement of Gene Roddenberry's vision of optimism.
So when you look at Captain Picard over the course of the show, by the way, in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, Bob was wrong. It was Admiral Kirk, not Captain, but that's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
Some of the best Picard episodes were the ones that did just that, that were psychological. You look at The Inner Light.
The Inner Light, the chain of command.
Chain of command, exactly where I was going. You even look at All Good Things.
Yep.
Which was the series finale.
What people love most about The Dark Knight was not explosions, was not gunfights, was not Batman's tech. It was the character of the Joker. And I've said it time and time again. When you focus on story, plot, and character, you get solid movies. You get movies that people truly cherish, which is why Michael Bay can't make movies that people will truly cherish. He makes popcorn movies, which are fine, but yeah.
Going off of what y'all said, how long do you think the series could last, though?
Well, it's at least committed to one 10-episode season.
Do you think it could actually go 10? Because like they said, no one ever concentrates on an older protagonist. And look what happened to Doctor Who when they tried to use Capaldi. People hated that he was
it's
so
Picard.
old.
Yeah, Picard,
if it was a new character, I would share your reticence. I would share your skepticism.
I think the shock was going from a young Matt Smith to an older Peter Capaldi, whereas Picard was already kind of old. Yeah.
You got to remember, Patrick Stewart was 47 when he got that role.
Yeah.
You know,
and now he's like 102.
And he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't
108.
young.
108. By the time the show ends, he'll be 148.
But Jean-Luc is such a beloved character in Star Trek lore that if it were, if it was Chekhov, wouldn't have the same appeal.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the same impact.
If it was Captain Riker on the Titan, may not have had the same appeal. By the way, Jonathan Frakes directing episodes 3 and 4 of the Picard series. But the fact that it's Jean-Luc Picard.
What if it was the other guy, Shatner's character?
Well, he died in Generations.
Oh, okay. I just don't know much on him.
Yeah,
so.
Kirk died in Generations, which took place about a year after the original series. That was 1994 when that movie came out.
But in a way, the Kirk movies were like what Picard is now, because the movies take place 20, 30 years after the show ended.
Okay.
Right. Now, when Star Trek becomes at its best, it's not when it's plot driven. It's when you actually get a look at the characters. It's actually when you get to learn more about the characters, which is a great thing that they did with Deep Space Nine. Some of the great Picard episodes, you mentioned Chain of Command. We mentioned The Inner Light.
Yep.
Family.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, that one. Ooh.
Yeah. Lori and I actually had a conversation on the way back where she felt the best of both worlds was almost a betrayal of the Picard character because he was not strong enough to defeat assimilation. And family deals with that aspect and how it affected Jean-Luc.
How much is left that you can talk about Picard, though? Because he hasn't been around for like years already.
I think it's because of the circumstances of what happened.
7 seasons and 4 movies.
Okay,
so it's dealing with the aftermath of the 2009 movie where the supernova wipes out the Romulan homeworld. And that's
we don't like that, or we like that.
We don't like that.
Okay.
It's gonna profoundly shift the politics
and the balance
of his time.
Okay.
And he's gonna feel, according to this, some semblance of personal failure on his part. Maybe he feels he's too old to get in the game and fix things, or what. We don't know, but apparently this is going to be a low point for the character of Picard, and he's going to spend this 10-episode season getting back out and getting to that optimism again.
Rebuilding the character.
So there was a prequel comic to the Star Trek 2009 called Countdown, and he was an ambassador to Vulcan at the time.
Is that high level?
Yeah, that's very high level. And Spock, I believe Spock came to him to talk about the thing that was happening to Romulus. And Starfleet wouldn't actually do anything. Spock almost had to do it by himself.
Yeah.
Data was in command of the Enterprise at the time as well.
Okay, so time is rapidly getting away from us. This is the fastest hour on radio, by the way. Just wanted to let everyone know about that one. Let's go ahead and let's talk about all the news that came out regarding DC. Okay, before we kind of give a rundown on what's coming our way from DC, let's talk about that Batwoman trailer. And first, we need to explain the difference between Batgirl and Batwoman. Batgirl is traditionally known as Barbara Gordon's daughter, the Commissioner Gordon that we all know and love. And so that the redhead that you see in the animated series, that sort of thing. And that's different from Batwoman, who is Bruce Wayne's cousin, who takes up the mantle of the Bat in this case, but it's Batwoman. So it's a fundamental difference between the two characters. Batwoman is older. Batwoman is, do we know bisexual?
No,
I think
she's homosexual.
She's homosexual. Okay, so she's gay. Whereas Batgirl is the daughter of Commissioner Gordon. She's college age, give or take.
She's around the same age as Nightwing.
Yeah. So that's about right. So,
Whatever age that is, that we're about the same.
It just depends on what time frame they pick her up on.
So if you grew up watching the animated series and you think you're going to get that version, you're not. You're very, very much not. So the trailer I thought looked pretty good. I like the cinematography. I like the tone. I like the angle that they're pushing this. As always, I'm not going to like being hit over the head that men are terrible and women are awesome, and that's just it. That's just how it rolls.
Luckily, it all comes in one night because Batgirl or Batwoman and Supergirl are going to be on the same night. They're going to be on Sundays.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
And the good thing is they've already shown her in CW's Arrow. So you already got a glimpse of her personality.
Yep.
So if
In
you
the
haven't
crossover.
watched it, I would say go watch that crossover to get an idea of how Cassandra Cain's going to be. Batgirl or Batwoman,
Yeah.
whatever.
Batwoman.
It appears that the pilot
so-
takes place before the crossover.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So
I
I-
mean, still.
I like the action. I like the actress. I think she fits the
good.
role very well. I think she expresses herself emotionally very well. If you
She's
watch the
very tough
trailer,
looking.
yeah, again, there are a couple of moments in the trailer where they hit you over the head with how evil men are. But,
but-
it's just a couple of passing moments, and overall, it looks like it's a pretty good pilot so far. Knock on wood. We'll see. We'll see where they take it.
And we also saw in the season finale of Arrow, the Monitor showed back up to
Yep.
take Oliver away to help with the crisis. And season finale of The Flash, we saw in the spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen these yet. So
spoiler.
sorry.
Whoop.
The story of Flash disappearing in 2024 got rolled back to 2019.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Well, they also lost 2 actors for that show too.
Well, didn't
For
they
Flash.
lose everybody in Arrow but Stephen Amell?
Stephen Amell staying. Felicity's already gone. We lost. I don't know about Diggle. Diggle. I
No,
thought was Disney.
if it's just the Monitor takes Oliver, which is
Then,
what
yeah,
it
then they
appears,
lose
everybody's gone.
And I know Cisco's leaving Flash, and what's her name? The girl
Killer
who plays-
Frost.
Yeah, Killer Frost. I can't think of her name.
Yeah,
Them 2 are leaving the show.
Danielle
so it's like,
Panabaker.
oh, she's so beautiful. But yeah, I don't know because like now I want to know what they're gonna do with Flash because it's like those are the 2 comic relief characters.
Well, everything's going to lead up to the crisis,
Yeah.
and they said it was going to be 5 hours over 2 quarters. So, and I read that confirmed that's going to be 3 hours in December, 2 hours in January.
wow,
Now,
it'd be interesting.
Now, Marvel
I'm excited.
Endgame is really starting to wind down at the box office, and there's only one more Marvel movie for the year. And last week we talked about the 8 Marvel movies that were getting ready to be coming out over the next couple of years. So we need to look at the other side of the coin here and see how DC is going to respond, what slate of movies they're rolling out with. October 4th of this year will be the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. This is going to be way different than the last couple of DC movies you've seen. Wonder Woman was a big stakes movie. Aquaman was like Battle of Helm's Deep all over again. I mean, it was this massive scope and scale and size. Shazam was a pretty fun film, but the Joker movie looks small. All right, there are no massive battles in the Joker movie, not even like what we saw in The Dark Knight Returns. We're not going to have that. This is going to be small. It's going to focus on character, and this is definitely not going to be a fun movie. But here's a fun fact for you. You know Leonardo DiCaprio was offered the role, and he passed?
Because he's smart.
Good.
He passed on this.
He's really, really smart because this movie's gonna bite. It's gonna trash. It's gonna be garbage.
You think it's gonna bomb?
It is because you're trying to give sympathy for somebody we don't want to have sympathy for.
Yeah.
He's like Doctor Doom in Marvel. We love to hate that character.
That's
you
true.
want to hate the Joker because he should be wrong. And then, but like in the movie, maybe he was right. Maybe he was right in The Dark Knight. But again, you still want to
Still want to
the
hate him.
character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
he's
this
a
one-
villain.
Exactly. And this one, they're trying to humanize him, which the comics have done for years. They gave him a little more human characteristics. You know, we talk about Joe Chill. We talk about how, if you've read the comics, that there's the was it 3 Jokers, I believe they said over time?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
and
Yeah.
they haven't actually
So-
told that story yet, but yeah.
Oh, but they hinted at it, I thought.
Oh, yeah,
right?
that was at the end of the Dark Side War.
Yeah. So there's all these things with the Joker, but we're not going in depth into, oh, yeah, he was that comedy guy or the comedian on the stage whose wife was pregnant. No, we don't care. And I don't care about that either. I just want Joker to go in there and kill everybody in Gotham City.
Now that'll be October 4th of this year. Birds of Prey and I can't believe this is the full title. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That's the full movie title. That'll be February 7th of next year. That'll be Harley Quinn, Huntress, Black Canary, Detective Renee Montoya, and Ewan McGregor will be the villain. He'll be Black Mask in this one.
So you know why that title was so long, right?
Because of whatever it takes?
No.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
I'm not just a one-trick pony, sir.
He's got 2 at least.
Oh, yeah, at the very
At
least.
bare minimum.
Then Wonder Woman 1984 comes out next June. Patty Jenkins is back at the director who directed the first Wonder Woman movie with Jeff Johns as a writer. Kristen Wiig, who you may recognize from The Martian and also from the Ghostbusters 2016 movie, will play Cheetah.
Can we talk more about Wonder Woman just so I have an excuse to keep this graphic up?
Yeah, I'm
Wonder
fine
Woman,
with
Wonder
that.
Woman.
So far it seems like it seems like 2 movies that are kind of meh and a possible smash hit. We don't know, of course, what's going to happen with Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
Now, I love some good character studies, but I just don't know that it's hard for me to trust DC right now. I know they're trying to go in a different direction. They also, Warner Brothers lost their CEO. I'm just not sure where this is going to go, and I'm just not sold on them delivering quality content.
So you may be talking about the DC movies, but let me tell you this: their TV and the animation.
Oh, they're killing it.
They're killing it,
Oh,
man!
they're absolutely killing
And
it.
even the shows on DCU, the DC universe, killing it.
Absolutely.
Young Justice Outsiders, great. Titans, great.
All right, so
Batman Hush coming up, great.
in the little bit of time that we have left, we're going to shift over. E3 is coming up as well.
is.
We want to talk about that. So let's talk about some video game news. Alrighty, so E3 was starting to look a little lackluster this year.
Well, it's been looking lackluster for years now. Nintendo pulled out about 6 years ago, if not more, I believe. And they do the Nintendo Direct scene instead. And that's all offsite. For a while, it was even at Best Buy. You got to try out the demos. Xbox, for the last couple of years, isn't even in the convention hall as E3. They're actually off-site. And now Sony completely pulled out.
Yep.
Sony's gone.
No
They're just like, we're out. Bye.
No Sony, no Nintendo.
They're still doing the Direct, though. Nintendo Direct.
Yes,
just
but no
that's all
major
online.
presentations at E3.
Which they haven't done that in years, though.
But now we get Netflix taking the main stage, which they've never done before. And now they're going to start cranking out a panel called Bringing Your Favorite Shows to Life, Developing Netflix Originals into Video Games.
Which is interesting since they're taking games and making them into shows right now.
Yes.
Because you got The Witcher still in development.
Well, it's very interesting. Now Netflix is floundering right now. They are desperate to stay as the top dog. Amazon Instant is starting to really kick up. Hulu just got Hulu just got bought out.
Well, again, there's still three other companies involved.
Yeah,
with that,
and we're not sure what's going to happen with them.
Yeah.
Disney Plus comes out this fall. I'm telling you, Netflix is in a panic to try to stay relevant.
And Warner Media's streaming service isn't far behind, which means that all of those Warner shows are going to get pulled.
Yep.
And DC has their own streaming service. So there's so many.
They didn't renew their deal with CW because a lot of those are Warner shows.
Yep.
And
so
NBC
Netflix used to come up the week after the season finale.
So
on
it's
Netflix.
a rough time at Netflix right now. The next 6 months, you're going to be hearing some bad news coming out of Netflix. I guarantee it. The doom and gloom, the buzzards are going to start to circle around the Netflix corpse here pretty soon.
Here's what Netflix should do right now. This is what Google's doing. Netflix should start streaming video games.
Well,
Google's already on that path.
Yep, and they may start that because they've announced Stranger Things the game for PC, PS4, Xbox One Mobile, and the Switch. It's scheduled to launch on the 4th of July, but now we could have games like The Umbrella Academy, Bright, which was the one where the orcs and humans, that cop movie with Will Smith.
And everything. Oh, it was a good movie.
So we could have those as video games being developed for a possible streaming service for Netflix Digital.
Which would make sense to keep them alive.
Alrighty, so that will go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm telling you, watch for bad Netflix news. It's going to come. For Goose, for Aaron, and for myself, I want to thank our sponsors, the Celebrity Fan Fest, Havoc, and the Mailing Spot. Subscribe to our website at getyourgeekon.org. You have embraced your inner geek, so make sure to get your geek on every single day.
Stop breaking stuff.
I do love how the comment section on Facebook quickly turned into a debate about who was the best doctor.
It did.
It did, and then you didn't see before that.
But to
luckily.
answer Stephen's question, yes, they did bring up Babylon 5 a bit. There was one particular letter that Aaron Eisenberg, who played Nog, read that did bring up Babylon 5.
And for the record, David Tennant's the best doctor, but Matt Smith had the best episodes. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm still
Way
a
to
Capaldi
start
fan.
trouble, sir.
I'm Capaldi all the way. And plus, I got to see him live in Fan Days, and then on top of that, Capaldi's a rocker.
We actually got to
He
see
really
him
is.
at Wizard World,
Yeah,
Austin.
yeah.
Oh
last
yeah,
year.
and that's how.
Yeah, he was at Austin. All with Jason Momoa.
I think that's
That
why I
was
like
pretty
him though,
cool.
because the rocker aspect, because he had his own band and everything.
Alrighty, so here's what I'm going to do post show. Bob was kind enough to leave me the schedule for the panels.
Yes.
I'll have that typed up, and I will kick it out to our subscribers on our website. If you have not subscribed to our website, now would be a good time to do it so you get that schedule. Go to getyourgeekon.org, go to the footer, which is the very bottom of any page at all, news, meme of the week, anything, and make sure that you subscribe, and you'll start getting this type of news. So check that out.
So Frank said he missed us at Compalooza this year.
Yeah, sorry, Frank. It was rough. It was Mother's Day weekend.
David didn't want to take his mother out there.
Kind
That's
of
all.
hard to justify that one. So,
Yeah, it really was.
alrighty. So, we'll go ahead and we'll slide on out of here. So, we want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget, we do have 2 T-shirt designs that are available at teespring.com. Just search for Get Your Geek On. 2 different designs that we're only going to use this one time, and then I'm scrapping the design and I'm not going to use it again. So, get your T-shirts while you can. All right, everybody.